Okay. Hi, good morning, good afternoon. My name is Donik Mullaademi. I'm SAP Solution Manager Architect here at CoreALM. I want to thank you for taking the time to join us today. And the topic of the day is the SAP Solution Manager and ServiceNow integration. So as we take a look at the agenda here, what we're going to be talking about today is we're going to spend a few minutes talking about CoreALM, services that we provide. We're going to look at the solution that we're going to dive into today. We're going to look at the live demo in the system, and then at the end, we're going to have an opportunity for questions and answers. Okay, if you do have any questions along the way, please go ahead and ask them in the questions section of the GoToWebinar tool, and then at the end, we will be able to answer your questions, and if any of them need follow-up, we will do that as well. Okay, as far as CoreALM, we are a consulting organization primarily focused on application lifecycle management. And our services really cover all the areas of Solution Manager, from process, project, and portfolio management, business process management, test management, change control, ITSM, DevOps, including focus build from a build perspective, and then custom solutions that we have developed over the years, including the solution that we're going to be talking about today. But we do have different Scrum boards that we have developed for focus build. We have different integration tools between Jira, Azure, ServiceNow, Solution Manager. We have ServiceNow connectors, and we have the portfolio with the performance and functional testing, from the test automation, from load testing and whatnot. And then from an engagement model perspective, we're very flexible to where we can engage with customers in different models, whether it's us providing a turnkey solution, such as the connector that we're going to be discussing today. We can do time and material projects, fixed costs, or even managed services for our customers. So we're very flexible, and we're open to discussing and addressing your needs. Okay, so what we're going to take a look at now is really the adapters that we've developed, or the connectors that we have developed with input from customers, and we're collaborating with customers for different functionalities. So the first functionality, so you're probably here on the call because you do have ServiceNow and Solution Manager and different functionalities configured in Solution Manager, one of them being the alerting. And what we have done is we've developed the connector to allow for customers to integrate Solution Manager, alert functionality, or technical monitoring or monitoring functionality, and the alerts that are generated in the Solution Manager, and integrate them with ServiceNow, and particularly with the incident module in ServiceNow. And we're going to dive in deeper and show you samples, things that you gain and whatnot by using this tool. But essentially, the idea here is that your end users or that are managing the tickets, they do not have to go to Solution Manager anymore and look at the alert and see what they are. This way, they can manage everything from ServiceNow, and we'll talk about the bidirectional communication that it allows you to perform. So that's one level of integration. We also have a different level of integration, which is, for example, in ServiceNow, you could have IT requests coming in, IT incidents and whatnot coming into ServiceNow. And one of these requests at some point will need to turn into a change because you have to change something in the system. Well, if you're using CHARM, on change and request management functionality in Solution Manager, what we have developed is also an integration between ServiceNow and Solution Manager to help customers with change management module in SAP or in Solution Manager. So this way you can manage the life cycle of a change from ServiceNow without having to log into CHARM, at least for the high level users in ServiceNow. So we do have separate webinars for this. So you're welcome to join to join us as our experts will discuss this. But the primary focus today is going to be on the alert integration and how the connector will help you streamline this process. So when we start, we begin with the Solution Manager at the bottom, and then we have ServiceNow. The prerequisites obviously is that your technical monitoring is enabled, and then what we can go and very quickly and methodically deploy the connector. And what the connector allows you to do in this case is, let's say in Solution Manager system, you have an alert that is created. So all the thresholds are configured, everything is configured, and you have an alert created. Typically, what you'll have is you'll get an email, or somebody will go in and review the alerts in the alert inbox in Solution Manager, and what they have to do is manage the life cycle in Solution Manager without any other visibility. Well, what the connector allows you to do is allows you to create an incident in ServiceNow as soon as an alert is raised in Solution Manager. Then the incident really starts out in ServiceNow, and then an end user will start managing that particular alert. So you could still leverage all of the framework, ServiceNow framework, that allows you to, from the communication and groups and all the assignments, we'll talk about those. But once the incident is created, an end user then has a couple of options, and this is all based out of the standard workflow in ServiceNow. So in this case, an incident is created, so a user can go in and immediately they have the option of canceling that request or that incident in ServiceNow. In that case, if they do cancel it, what's going to happen is the alert in Solution Manager is going to be confirmed automatically. All of this happens behind the scenes. The alert is confirmed in Solution Manager, and there's nothing to worry about. However, if the issue still persists, obviously a new alert will be created once it's been confirmed. But if the user chooses not to cancel and start processing, what they will do is they'll switch the status to in progress, and they will continue working on the process, which this allows you to keep all the SLAs intact from a ServiceNow perspective. So all the counters, everything will keep running. The user will go ahead and find out what the root cause of the problem is. They can go ahead and resolve the problem. And upon doing that, or while in progress, what they can do is they can put it on hold to either hold SLAs, or the other option is for the end user to take the incident and resolve it. So this is a pretty standard or out-of-the-box ServiceNow workflow that's delivered by ServiceNow. So essentially, once they're in progress, they resolve it. And here's where our connector provides you a couple of options. And those are that we allow you to confirm an alert in status results. So if that's what you use, our connector is capable of being configured fairly easily to say that we can confirm an alert in Solman once we've hit the resolve status. Or the other option is once we put the ServiceNow alert or the incident into the close status, only then do we want to confirm the alert. So really that's up to us, meaning or at the configuration time, or you as a customer, you decide whichever status you want the alert to be confirmed on. And it's very flexible and very easy to change. So that's something very nice, because we noticed different customers have different workflows, different things happen at different stages, but we give you the flexibility, and the connector allows you to do that. So as you can see here in this picture, now that it's been completely filled in, what you can see is that really user has really no reason to log into Solution Manager. And we will, in the next slide, we will talk about what kind of data can you see in ServiceNow and how that's populated. So, and we move on into that. So what we can see here is we're going to notice This is a screenshot of the ServiceNow incident that has been created from Solution Manager using the integration. As you can see on the first block here, we can see that the user is SAP integration that has initiated this. So out of the box, what we will provide to ServiceNow is the short description of the problem. And this is coming from default definition from Solution Manager. So none of this had to be customized. We have only added our connector and just done the basic configuration, meaning the integration between the two tools, some usernames, passwords, some certificates, just from the Exchange perspective. Once that's completed, everything that you're seeing here is essentially out of the box. So we have the short description, then we have the long description that is passed. So all these details are extracted from the alert itself. And what's not shown in the picture is what we will see live in the system. We've actually enhanced the amount of data that's passed. So what we're essentially doing is we're sending the current values. For example, if it's disk full alert, it will also provide the percentages of how full it is. So you don't have to go into Solution Manager and find out how, or on the system itself to see how full that disk is, but all the data will be in ServiceNow. In addition to that, we're sending the priority, which is extracted directly from the alert inbox, and then assignment group. So we have multiple options here, and we'll talk about that in the next slide, but we have options around the assignment group, and that's where some of the a lot of the benefits that come with using such connector, from the flexibility of which groups you can assign, and we'll talk about that. And last but not least is we have the alert ID here that it's going to be passed on, and then open an SAP section here. It's just really a link in ServiceNow for you to click on, and it will allow you to go to Solution Manager and log in directly into Solution Manager and go directly to that alert without having to search for it. And we'll see that in action here in a little bit. Okay, and we also have the capability to very easily map additional fields if they are needed. So there's new features coming up that are going to be very, very nice to really dynamically allow you to map these fields as far as what data you can pass back and forth. Okay, as far as the assignment rules, so what we have done is we have developed the rule method to where you can choose and select based on different criteria that we have determined, and based on that criteria, you can set up rules and say if certain conditions are met. For example, if the system is a database and it's performance related, I want this to be assigned to the DBAs. If it's database related and its disk is full, for example, I want it to send it to the operating system team, because the OS team can expand the disk, and not necessarily the database team. So it's really flexible, and it allows you to build your own custom scenarios and your custom rules as far as which alerts you want to go to which group. So you can get very granular, or you can build very high-level filters or rules that will allow you to route tickets to different teams. So that's something that was asked by a lot of customers, and they wanted to see that, so we've gone ahead and built it. Now, what we're not seeing here on the screens, what we have done is we have introduced or built in a lot of logic to avoid alert duplication. I'll give you one scenario. For example, let's assume we have an application with 5 app servers, and let's assume that the database disappears, right? It crashes. When the app servers cannot connect, what's going to happen by default is all 5 of them or Solution Manager is going to raise an alert on all 5 of them saying that certain work processes are disconnected. So you're going to get a flood of that. What we have done is we've built the logic in this tool and then intelligence to say that, okay, these 5 problems have a common denominator, therefore raise only 1 alert and not 5. But what's going to happen is the metrics from all 5 are going to be still recorded. We're not ignoring those, but they're going to be recorded in one ticket or in one incident. And they're just going to be in the notes section, there's going to say app server 1, app server 2, app server 3, 4, 5. And then once they come back online, they will also report their correct values. And then when you confirm, you will confirm one incident rather than having to have 5 of them. So that's another feature that, we saw based on our experience, we saw that was necessary to further avoid, alert duplication. Although SAP has done a good job in suppressing those alerts from creating extra noise, but we've added another layer of intelligence to help with that. So yeah, there are a lot of features like that that are built into the tool to really streamline your process. Now, from a features and benefits, and this goes for really both solutions, whether it's for alert integration or for change management. But essentially what we're talking about here is that we do deliver a Fiori page. It's very dynamic, meaning it's going to pull live data from both sides. So for example, if you're using change management, it's going to pull certain data statuses directly from your system based on what's configured. So that way we don't have to hard code things. It's all just, it's pulling data as far as what change types do you use and things like that, and statuses that you might have without us having to hard code them in. It just checks the system, it pulls the data, and then you can map things dynamically. So we provide this simple configuration checklist. As we mentioned, dynamic status mapping. We do provide error handling because we know that issues can happen. A network issue could happen. Something could go down to where they cannot communicate, and what we don't want is those tickets to get stuck. So what we do is we have retry capabilities, resynchronization from both sides, whether it's from Solution Manager to ServiceNow or vice versa. We have that logic built in. And then from a change management perspective, there's a lot of flexibility as to where you start the change, decouple, couple capabilities, but those are more related to change management. However, we still, the tool is very flexible, and we'll showcase that here in a minute once we switch to the demo. So let's take a look at our system. Let me launch here. So what I'm going to do is, yep, looks like it's timed out. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at all the incidents in this case, and I'm just going to pick the first one here. So what we have is we have an incident, and let me click on it very quickly and see. Okay, so what we have is an incident that was initiated or created from one of our Solution Manager systems. So what we're seeing here is the incident number, obviously from ServiceNow. We have the integration has created this, so we know who initiated this change. Most of the fields we have left open, but like I said, a lot can be done in these fields. And then we have the impact and urgency. All this is coming from Solution Manager, or the priority from Solution Manager. You have the assignment group. In this case, we just defaulted it to problem analyzers group. And then we have the short description. And this is how it's defined in SAP. And then we have the long description that has all these details. So what I showed you earlier is pretty much everything up to this point with a screen that is highlighted. But at the bottom here, what we're going to have is these are the extra details that I talked about. We talked about the max value, last value, whatever this key figure is, or whatever this alert there or the metric is, we're going to give you more detail so you don't have to log in. And we can see the state is in progress. So this incident is currently being worked on. And actually, I think I might have switched the status to in progress earlier, but nevertheless, this is one from Solution Manager. Then what we have is the alert ID that's visible, and we do deliver our own view, which is the CoreALM view. So if you do not want to see those, if you want to use your standard view, you don't have to see this alert ID, the extra detail that we're providing. But in this case, we're showing it here just from a demo perspective. But in this case, let's say I want to go in, I click on open in SAP. What this is going to do is going to launch the corresponding Solution Manager system. And as you can see here, the status of the incident is open, or the alert is open. And we're going to go back to ServiceNow, and we're going to go through the life cycle now of this, or through the workflow for this particular change. As I said, we can put it on hold, or we're working on it, but we can put it on hold to put the SLAs on hold, or we can say that the incident is resolved. So we're going to go to the resolved screen, the status. We're going to hit save. And what's going to happen is the mandatory fields, because this is out of the box, and the mandatory field is going to be filled in, or it's going to be required to be filled in. So we're going to put in a resolution code. In this case, we're going to say we resolve it permanently, and we're going to say that we resolved it during the webinar. Okay. We filled in all the information, and again, we're just following standard what you have in ServiceNow. We're not forcing, by introducing this tool, we're not forcing you to change the workflow in ServiceNow at all. It's all the same. And then once we're going to do here, I'm not going to leave this incident, but I'm going to hit save. What's going to happen is the state has been switched to resolved in ServiceNow. We'll go back to Solution Manager, and we refresh the window. What we're going to see is the incident is still open, or the alert is still open. The reason for that is we have chosen, or the current configuration, we have said that I only want to confirm my Solution Manager alert when I close the incident in ServiceNow. And as I mentioned, currently it's in the resolve state, but once we close it, once I hit save, what's going to happen now is the incident is going to be closed in ServiceNow. We have the resolution code and the resolution notes. We cannot change this incident anymore in ServiceNow. And when we come to Solution Manager, if I hit refresh here, what we're going to notice that this incident, or the alert in alert inbox, is now confirmed. And in addition to that is we have in the comments section in alert inbox, what we have is I am logged in as user admin in ServiceNow. So we see that user admin closed this, and then the comments that we put into the resolution details, we said that we resolved it during the webinar. So that resolved during the webinar. So that's going to be here. So this gives you visibility if somebody's looking at alerts in the Solution Manager side. They're going to be able to see that who updated it and what the closure notes were, just to give you more flexibility. So we have options as far as you can create an incident manually if you choose not to create a ServiceNow incident for every alert that comes in. So we give you that flexibility as well. You can create it in ServiceNow, only things that you want visible, but really gives you that flexibility to do that. This is what we were planning to show you today for this webinar. So if you have any questions, please go ahead and send them now. I'm not sure if any of the questions were sent yet. So the support team, if you could let me know if there are any questions, because I don't think I can see them, I would really appreciate it. If you have any more questions questions regarding this, the tool at all, please reach out to us, and we will be we'll be able to help you and answer any of the questions that you might have.
Thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. You can send any further questions to info@corealm.com or visit us at corealm.com to find out more about our tools, products, and services.